Well, hello, everyone. This is Dr. Eileen, and this is for those on YouTube, um, Medicine Walk with Dr. Eileen. And for those of you who are on Blog Talk Radio, this is Blog Talk Radio. And oh, there we go. So, hi. It is another great week, and it's another great time for us to get together and take this walk in life together. And as you'll notice, I'm not wearing my hat. And that is something that I kind of chose to, sometimes we get into the idea that, well, because we've done something in a particular way a lot, that is like, well, I need to do that way. People expect me to do it that way. So I thought today it was like, okay, well, I'm just going to go hatless. And we'll see what that leads to. And right now, I'm experiencing some interesting things. Hold on. Let's see what is going on with the broadcast. I just want to check out the Hangouts for just a minute and make sure. Okay, so according to this, we are broadcasting. So hopefully the screen will come in. I'm not sure if I'm being seen because the Hangouts is not showing that the video is up, and it should be. So, hey, this is what happens with live broadcasts. So, let's see. I'm going to turn the camera off and then turn it back on again. And now let's see if that fixes it. Well, I'm just going on the theory that it is, since the Hangout is recording, that this is doing it. So we'll just go with that. Anyway, if you are watching on YouTube, please log into the chat and let me know if this is not showing up. So today we're going to be talking about it's okay not to be okay. And the reason that I chose this topic was because I posted on one of my daily Twitter posts. It was about the question, do you answer, if somebody asks you, how are you doing? Do you just say, I'm okay, even when you're not? And we all have lots of different reasons for doing that. And it is important to be able to be very honest with ourselves as to whether or not we are actually acknowledging that we're okay. We're saying we're okay when we're not, but for reasons we can't get into it right then. Or it could be that we don't want to burden people with what we're going on with. And it could also be that we have a little bit of ego. We don't want anybody to think that things are not perfect, that things are not going on. And if there's anybody who has ever seen any of my videos, yeah, that's not the case. Things go wrong and things go off and things go awry. And life is like that. And if you get really wrapped up in the fact that you want to give a particular impression all the time, that you want to present yourself in a particular way all the time, that isn't going to work. We all have our humanity. We all have those moments when we may be a little bit less patient, a little bit less compassionate, a little bit less perfect, a little bit less of what we would like the whole world to see us as. And that's okay. I mean, if you really kind of feel like you need to have that, maybe you do a job where a lot is expected of you. Maybe you do a job where there's a certain standard. For some reason, you can't just totally be you in that moment. And I understand that. And I understand if you feel like, well, people need me to be a particular person. And that may be true. That may be completely true. And you've got to be able to find somebody who you can have that honest conversation with, someone that you can be yourself with. Someone who, when they say, hey, are you feeling okay? That you can say, no, I'm not. And that they can hold that space for you. Now, you don't have to go into a whole big explanation on why you're not okay. The important thing is that you open that doorway to being supported. And when I posted it, there were lots of different responses. Somebody said, well, just say you're fair to middling. And, you know, that's like one of those sayings that really are very non-committal. It gives an answer. It doesn't say technically you're not doing okay, but it doesn't say that you are. And I've got something beeping in my ear. Okay. Hold on. Because as this is live, stuff happens and it just does what it's going to do. I'm not sure what, and for those of you who are listening on Blog Talk Radio, that's where the issue is coming in. So I don't know if for some reason it looks like there may be an issue with Blog Talk Radio. It's still saying that I'm online, but and that the episode is going, but I'm really not sure what it's doing. So I'll check that later. And hopefully, if you're listening on Blog Talk Radio and I've completely blocked out, watch the whole thing on YouTube. You know, go to the YouTube channel and you can see it. So what is important for us to take a look at? What is it that we're saying about ourselves? What is it that we're saying about, you know, how we value what it is that we do? Because the thing is that when you're going through a tough time and you don't let people know it, it comes out in other ways. We don't realize that it comes out, but often people will notice something. And if we're saying, no, I'm fine, I'm totally perfectly fine, when somebody knows we're not, all that does is it makes them have to work for it. They're going to worry. If you're saying, well, I'm not telling anybody because I don't want them to worry, they're going to worry anyway because they're going to know something's wrong and you're not telling them. And that only makes them worry more, because then they start up with stories in their head. Something may not be, you know, really, really big. Suddenly it becomes something huge because they're saying, wow, you know, that person's not saying it. They're not telling me. They would normally tell me if something was going on. It must be horrible. So the idea that you are, that you're trying to prevent something from happening, you don't want to worry people, but by not saying anything, or by having somebody find out, like, you know, if somebody finds out through a mutual friend that something is going on, they're going to come back to you and say, hey, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you talk to me? So the idea that, you know, we're avoiding worry and avoiding concern, people know you, people understand you. Often I will be very busy and I'll be doing things and people will say, oh, wow, you know, are you okay? You look tired. Now, if somebody tells you you look tired, they're worried about you. If somebody asks you if you are okay, they already know that you're not. So you can just say, you know, no, I'm dealing with a few things right now. I'm having some concerns. And if it's something that, you know, is very private, and also this conversation has to be with someone you feel safe with. If this is someone you don't feel safe with, if this is someone who, for whatever reason, you don't really feel like you want to share anything personal with them, then you can just say, you know, well, you know, I've got some stuff that I'm working out, but it's okay. You know, I'll take care of it. Oh, well, do you need any help? No. You know, thank you for offering. If I need help, I'll ask. So you can be able to get out of that situation, but make sure you find somebody that you can talk to, that you can trust, that you can confide in, that you can let know that you need someone to help you bear the burden, because living life is bearing the burden. And sometimes it can be a very fun burden, and most of the time it's a very worthwhile burden. And sometimes not so much. Sometimes it just weighs on you. And that's everybody. It doesn't matter how spiritual you are. It doesn't matter how much training you have. It doesn't matter how many mountains you've meditated on for days, fasting. It doesn't matter how many titles you have. Everybody gets burdened sometime. It's natural. It's what we do. It's how we respond. And the fact that, well, it's going to happen. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be challenging, which is why we have one another. It's why we have an opportunity to talk to each other. It's why, no matter how badly it goes on any given week, that I am here every Thursday for you, because I want to be, because I understand how burdensome life can get. And I also understand that when you have somebody who sits with you and says, hey, I know what you're going through, but it's okay. You're going to make it. You can do this. I believe in you. What can I do to help? And me being here, sitting in my office, talking to, well, a camera, but I'm talking to you. I really am. I'm talking to each and every person who is going through whatever it is that you're going through, that is challenging you, that is stressing you out. We all have stuff stressing us out. And I don't say that to say, well, everybody's got problems, get over it. It's about acknowledging that everybody needs to ask for help sometimes. Everybody needs to admit that things aren't going well sometimes, that your technology is being tremendously weird sometimes. So I don't know, it comes from that place of being able to accept that sometimes the weird stuff is going to happen. Sometimes your equipment doesn't work. Sometimes whatever. But the point is that we remember that we have tools to be able to manage stuff. And one of our tools is the ability to find somebody and talk to them. And one of the comments was that, well, maybe they don't want to burden. And like I said, it's more of a burden to have to bear the frustration of seeing somebody who was going through something and they didn't say anything. And you could have helped them or you could have supported them, but they never gave you a chance. And I think that each person should get to decide for themselves whether or not something's a burden. If somebody were to call me and ask for my help, and maybe in that moment, maybe I'm with a patient, maybe I'm, up on my mountain and the roads have washed out or whatever. If in that moment I cannot be there for you, I will say, I'm sorry. Right now, I can't be physically there for you, and I can still be there for you. I will hold you in prayer. I will send out good thoughts. I will schedule a time when I can be there for you. And that's probably the first thing I will do, is schedule a time. It's like, you know what? I can't help you right now, but if you can wait an hour, if you could wait a couple of hours, when can we talk? What works good for you? Let's get a time to talk. And being able to be present in whatever way I can, that's the important thing. That's that piece where, it's the beginning of a process. If somebody says, well, I cannot deal with anything right now, is when I need help, I need it right now. It's like, okay, I can't help you right now, but I know someone who can. I know someone who can listen to you. I know someone who can help you out. So don't be so quick to decide, well, I don't want to bother that person. Let them decide if they want to be bothered. Let them decide whether or not they can make that time, because more than likely they will make the time for you in some way. It's not a burden at the very least to say, you know what, I'm going to hold you in prayer, or I'm going to, I'll be thinking of you. I'll give you a call tomorrow and check in with you, or I'll give you a call later on tonight and check in with you. And in the meantime, here's someone that you can talk to. I know someone who might be able to help you deal with that particular thing right in that moment if I can't. So keep in mind that not being okay, there's nothing wrong with not being okay, because we're all not okay sometime. We're all, in a difficult place sometime. We're all experiencing, anxiety and nervousness and self-doubt sometime. And sometimes we're enthusiastic, sometimes we're optimistic, sometimes we're, just at the top of the world. Sometimes we feel invulnerable. So it's at those times that if somebody comes and, and is not feeling so well, we can give them that extra energy. We can say, hey, you know what? This is going to be okay. It's all right. You hear them out. You let them cry if they need to. You tell them, man, I'm really sorry you're going through that. I'm really so sorry you're going through that. And you let them experience what they need to experience, while at the same time saying, okay, we've got some options here. If you're past the part where, you're just feeling bad, and I can go with you to your pity party. Honest, I will allow you to have your pity party, as long as at the end of the pity party, we can go, okay, what is it that we want to do now to set things into motion to start solving this problem? What is it that you've got? What are the resources you've got? Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at, getting you out of this mess. But yeah, you can acknowledge that it does suck and that it's lousy. And the saying that I have is, life is fun until it isn't, and it sucks until it doesn't. So yeah, we're going to go in and out of that. But the trick is being able to realize, one, it's temporary. No matter how bad it is, it's temporary. This state is not going to last forever. Now, what do you do to get you past that point? What do you do to be able to move yourself forward? Well, there's a lot of different things you can do. You can say, well, I will figure out the things that I can influence, the things that I can change, the things that I can affect. And often, once you start making it a problem to solve, once you start making it a puzzle, then you can start kind of getting into the analytical part of your mind, which takes the emotion out of it. When it's all in that creative side of it, when it's all in the right brain, it's that creative, which of course is also where the stories get told as to how bad it can be and how bad it's going to be, and all of that. That's a part of imagination. It's a part of creating, the story to fill in the gaps. It's a part of indulging in fear. So when you shift that to, oh, okay, well, I'm going to say it sucks, and let me look at what I can change, though. What are the parameters that I can control? If there's nothing I can control, then okay, I go straight to prayer and say, it's like, okay, Creator, I got nothing. I need help. And I go with that. But as long as there's something I can control, as long as there's something that I can get a hold of and get a handle of, it may only be one small thing, but if there's one thing that I can be able to feel that I can, be empowered in, then I can start to work my way out of that not being okay. If it's a health concern, I go, all right, how much do I know about this condition, and how much more can I learn? I want to know everything about this. If it's a financial concern, okay, what do I have? What are the resources I have? where can I get advice? You know, how can I be able to manage this and reduce down my spending or do whatever I need to do? You know, who can I call to be able to say, all right, you know, this is a lean time. I need to figure out something, and to get advice. And you know, and financial issues are really difficult, because often that's one of the things we want to talk about least, because you know, well, if you're not handling your finances, then you know, you're not a responsible adult and all of this stuff. And honestly, everybody has issues with that at some point. Everybody. So like I said, you know, that's why it's important to have that, you know, preferably at least a couple of people, 2 or 3 people, because if it's only one person, then it really kind of gets loaded on them. And what you want is not to end up with a situation where somebody who is able to be part of a solution is suddenly having to be the whole solution. And, you know, and that can cause stress in somebody else. So make sure that you've got that person who you can go to and say, you know what, I need some advice. You know, I'm not feeling it. And sometimes it's not even anything in particular. Sometimes it's just an overall feeling of, ugh, I'm not okay. And if you can't identify anything in particular, if you, it's like, well, you know, my life is basically going okay, and you know, I'm not suffering physically in any major way, none of that is necessary for you to just not feel okay. You could not feel okay because maybe part of you is really tired by all of the stuff going on and the news, and you know, or maybe you're very empathic. Maybe you feel the emotions of others as if they're your own feeling. So it may not even be yours. Maybe it's something that somebody else dealt with or is dealing with, and you're just picking up the echo of their emotions. So if you're not feeling okay, one of the first things I do is, okay, do I have a tendency to pick up the feelings of others? And if so, is there someone around me that is under stress? You know, maybe you're getting some sort of a psychic impression. If you're suddenly not feeling okay, you know, and it's like, you know, I haven't talked to this particular friend in a while. And if they keep coming up in your mind and you're not feeling okay, give them up or something. Everybody's a little bit psychic. So figure out what it is that you're not feeling okay, but honor the fact that you're not feeling okay. Honor the fact that we all have those down times. We all have times when nothing seems to be working. We all have times when it's just not there. And you know, right now I'm having this time with the camera, or I don't know if it's the camera, I don't know if it's YouTube or what. But you know, you just move on. You just, yeah, I'll when it's all over, I'll see what happened and figure it out then and do better next week. Because I know there's always going to be a next week. I know there's always going to be a tomorrow. I know that there's always going to be a later this afternoon. And each time, you know, I do something, I know that I can learn to do it better. I know that I can be able to step forward. If I'm going through a tough time, I know it's not going to last. I know it's temporary. And I still know that, you know what, maybe I need to talk to somebody. Maybe I just need to vent to a friend. Maybe I just need to, you know, and have it be a friend who understands that everybody goes through stuff, that they're not going to try to fix you, that they're not going to try to, I mean, you could even make an agreement with another person that whenever either one of us are going through something, we'll listen. We're not going to try to fix it. We will not offer advice that is not asked for, but we will still just be in that space with the person. And if you can have that kind of agreement with somebody, that's really cool. You know, get a couple of people, form your own little club, and say, hey, you know, somebody's got something, you know, I need to talk to this person about, or that person needs to talk to me. And so that way, you know, if somebody says, hey, I really need to talk, it's like, you know what, I can't do it right now, but you know, the one of the other club members can be there for you, you know, or team members. So make sure that you have a plan for when things are not okay, when you're not okay. And it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to say you're not okay. It's okay when everything and all the technology, and like I said, I'm gonna have to go through this and try to figure out what happened and see if I can salvage this episode. And even if I can't, that's okay. There's always next week. There's always another chance. And you know, as long as I'm in this world, experiencing this world, there is another chance. So don't worry about it. Allow yourself to not be okay. Allow the things around you not to work out. Allow that sometimes technology goes nuts and you don't know why. But whatever it is, probably you can do something about it. Find that one little thing, because if you can find one little thing that you can influence, more than likely you'll find another. And as one step piles onto the next, as you know, one foot goes in front of the other, after a while, suddenly you may find that you're more okay than you thought. So thank you. As I said, I'm not positive if this has recorded correctly. It may just be doing audio. There may be, yeah, and maybe I'll figure out something. Maybe I'll just put in a bunch of pictures for, you know, the video part of it. I'll have to play with this and figure out what happened. But either way, anyway, if you found any value in this, and you know, look at some of my other videos. Those had the video on it. So if you appreciated any part of this, please like. You can comment. I do read the comments and respond to them. You can share it, or you can subscribe. And it's always neat to see more people join the community. You can follow me on Twitter, and you can also join up with my Facebook group, Medicine Walk with Dr. Eileen. And so if you follow me on Twitter, then you'll be able to get those daily tweets. Or if you go into Medicine Walk and join that Facebook group, then you'll also, because I also post them there too. So thank you for joining me. And like I said, I'll see if I can fix this or figure out a way to redo it or something. But no matter what, I wish you balance and I wish you blessings from my heart to yours. Oh, and post in the comments whether or not you think I should wear the hat. If you like the hat, I'll do that. If you don't like the hat, then, well, I'll consider maybe wearing the hat every once in a while. So have a wonderful week. Bye.